Hey, how you doing? Welcome to another video. And well, it's time for the worst games of 2024. I haven't done this in a very long time when it comes to like doing a worst of list, I guess. I don't even know when the last time I did a video game one was. I have no idea. But we're going to do this nice, short, and sweet. We're not going to overstay any welcomes here. I know no one really cares if I talk it all like over and over. I didn't play that many games when I can make a top 10 worst games. I probably could like cram some mediocre games that I played in a top 10 list. But for the most part, I'm happy with what I got here. So let's get to it. We're going to get straight to it because I know nobody wants to hear me jabbering. So we're going to get straight into it with number 5. No, wait. We got an honorable mention. A dishonorable mention. I got to mention it because this game was ass from what I've played. But I have not finished it, so I cannot say it's in my top 5. Of course, that game is Dustborn, baby. I have to bring it up. It is a monumental failure, at least from what I've played. Maybe it gets really good later. I don't know. I played about a little over 3 hours. I could not believe how absolutely cringe this game is. It feels like a satire, but it's not. The developers are super serious about this. The positives. Some of the graphics are okay. That's all I got for you, bro. Like the voice acting's okay, I guess, but for the most part, it's so heavy-handed and not funny. The characters are unlikable. The gameplay is almost non-existent. There's like action in the game that is so poorly done, and I can only imagine it's gonna get worse from where I left off because all the characters are unlikable. Some of them are supposed to be funny, some of them are supposed to be bitchy and annoying. They just suck. They're sucky characters. I do not like any of them. Yeah, it just has such a twisted sense of morality too. They have a whole thing where it's like, oh, you can cancel people and say, I don't even want to get into it. Just watch videos. Many people have made videos about it. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Let's get to number 5. Number 5 is South Park Snow Day. This is heartbreaking. Now, to be fair, I didn't finish this game, but I got far enough where I feel like I'm good. You know, where Dustborn, a big part of that game is the story. Snow Day, most of it is just gameplay, you know? So I feel like, you know, this one I'm good with. I got almost at the end, but I couldn't do it anymore. The game was so dull. Who thought this was a good idea? We should have just had an RPG or something like that, or like maybe a beat 'em up like side-scrolling game, not this 3D roguelike shit that it's not a terrible idea on paper, but like who the hell thought, all right, let's make a beat 'em up 3D like just a roguelike game. We don't need a targeting system or anything. Even if there was a targeting system, this game would not be good. I'm just going to throw it out there. But just that also, and also that it really didn't make me laugh that much. And it just is so dull, and the levels go on way too long, and the roguelike system is completely fucking unsatisfying. It's not great. And you know, I was a little like taken aback because I actually kind of like the way the 3D characters look. I think this is the best a 3D South Park game has looked. Like why this game? Why? Just spend all that time making another RPG, even if it's like shorter or something. It's disappointing. Very disappointing. Number 4, Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. Unsurprisingly, this is going to be here. I was so excited. And to be fair, when I first played it, I got a code for it. When I first played it, it was pretty good. Like the servers weren't, you know, fried completely because it wasn't out yet because I played it like a day or two early. So there was a few people in there, probably other people got early, and it was fun. I had a good time. But then of course when it came out, it was like you couldn't play it. You just couldn't play it. That was the problem. And sure, I'm sure it's better now, but there was still already like a lot of glitches and problems that I don't remember being in the original games. And the update of the graphics isn't like substantial enough to warrant like $35 when it first came out. And the PC version of Battlefront 2 at the time, you could still play that and it's better and it worked. Huge disappointment because this one really mattered. This is a big one and they fumbled it so hard that now it's just like it's pretty much dead. It's sad. It really is because Battlefront has not had a good time in the last like decade or so. I know Battlefront 2, the remake or the new one is good now, but it wasn't at the time. So anyway, there you go. That's number 4. Number 3 is oh my god. $30 for a 2-hour monotonous, shitty, unsatisfying beat 'em up game that, yes, you played it at the movie theater while you're waiting for your movie to start, or you played it at Dave and Buster's, and it was probably fun in small increments there in the context that you're at a theater with friends maybe, or you're just at a public area, so it's kind of feels different to be playing a game in front of everybody else or whatever. It's not the same. This $30 for this is it's robbery. This game is so poorly done. It's not a good beat 'em up game. $3 is probably barely a good deal. Not even. The game is just shit. This game is shit. Yeah, I'm just gonna straight up say right here, it's unsatisfying. It doesn't feel good to fight anybody. The graphics are bad. The sound effects are horrible. It's really annoying to listen to. Crank this motherfucker down if you go play it. And it's just like the boss fights are lame. There's nothing good about it, really. Honestly, this probably should be higher. But the only reason why it isn't is because the next 2 games I expected more from, considering what they are. And this one I kind of knew it was not going to be great. So really, honestly, this one probably should stay at 3. But it might be technically worse than the next 2 games. So just throwing that out there. Number 2, and this one's not going to be surprising at all. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now that might surprise you that it's not number 1, but good fucking god. Oh my god, what a disappointment. What happened, Rockstar? Oh, Rocksteady, sorry. You're not Rockstar. No, if this was Rockstar that made this, holy shit, I think I would put, I would question it. Like I would assume I was in the Matrix and it was fucking glitching. There's no way. No, Rocksteady, what happened? 9 years for this? For this. Some of the cringiest humor, most unlikable characters. I don't understand what reviewers are smoking when they said the best thing about this is the story. It is awful. It is a terrible story. You are fucking losing your mind. Oh, some of the humor was funny. Oh man. Oh, whoa. That's a self-tell right there. If you think that's funny, shit, you probably laugh at every shitty MCU movie then too. You were there fucking hooting and hollering at those fucking screaming goats in Thor: Love and Thunder, I bet. They're in the noise. Oh my god. Unlikable characters completely. Gameplay is fucking repetitive. It has moments, I will admit. Sometimes it's like, all right, I'm kind of getting in the groove with it. But the mission structure is lame and repetitive. The end game stuff is abysmal. The updates, I don't fucking care. I didn't play a single update. I was done. I played the entire story mode. I was done, and I played some end game stuff after that. I was done. I gave it a couple extra hours of end game stuff. I was done. It is just a bad game. It's a bad game, and it deserves to fail. Obviously, I don't think anybody deserves to lose their job. I wouldn't say that. I know some people have been saying that, like, "Oh, Rocksteady goes down." I don't hope that at all. But people definitely need to understand that this was not it. And I don't know what the fuck they were doing for 9 years. There's no way in hell this game was being worked on for 9 years. I don't bbelieve it. There's no way. There's nothing about it. The world itself is fucking empty and barren. It's just, there's nothing. The story mode is pretty short too. It's like 10 hours. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. I just don't get it. Maybe it took 9 years for the script to get those really funny jokes in there. It's just a disappointment. And speaking of disappointment, there's a thing that I really love. And I was very, very excited for this thing to get its first video game. And what I got this year, which I think it came out the same month as Suicide Squad, was probably the biggest cash grab I think I've seen in a long time. Since TMNT, the theater game, to be fair, that came out after. And that game is the worst game of 2024 for me, is Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash. This is an absolute disgrace. Barely any content. Online that barely works. And when it works, it's not very fun because the combat system is very, very, very generic. Sure, you have to use cursed moves to do damage. After that, nothing. There's nothing. You just spam the same moves over and over again, and you'll win. That's how I beat the story mode. Which, by the way, I thought My Hero Academia, or whatever it's called, My Hero One's Justice, had a lame story mode. This takes the cake. This really does have the lamest anime storyline or story mode I've ever seen. I thought Demon Slayer kind of got a little lazy with the, like, oh, you have to walk from point A to point B, but there's nothing in between. You just kind of walk forward. And there might be, like, if you walk to the left a little bit, you'll get, like, a little item. But for the most part, it's just walk forward. At least it had that. And at least the cutscenes were all CG animated. This, 90% of the cutscenes aren't even the animation from the anime. It's screenshots of the anime. And sure, they got the voice actors, the English voice actors. I listened in English. I don't know if the Japanese ones were in there. I'm sure they were. To redo the voice work again, which was nice, I guess. But there was nothing really new at all. And it was so bad. And I don't even know what else to say. It was a cash grab. They had to have had like a year, maybe a little over a year to make this game. There's no way. They rushed it out for a full price, and it's just bad. At least Suicide Squad has some merits. Like, graphics are pretty good for the most part, and there's times where the gameplay kind of, whatever. South Park, it was $30. TMNT was also $30. And Star Wars Battlefront, even if it had issues, it was still at its heart a good game. There's nothing good about this game. I can't think of anything. The DVD menu made me laugh, I guess, because the main menu looks like it's straight up like a DVD menu from like 2005. And speaking of 2005, it feels like an anime game from then. Except a lot of those were better. Like, a lot of the Naruto games were better. Clash of Ninja, that was better. This game was such a disappointment because I love Jujutsu Kaisen, even if I don't understand it 100%, of the time. I do love that anime. I think it's fucking great, and this was such a huge disappointment. This coming out right after the amazingness of season 2 is it was shit. It's a shitty game. Don't ever do this again. This is easily the worst game of 2024. It's horrible. So there you go. That is my that's it. You want to see them again? Here we go. All right, just real quick. All right, here we go. We got Dustborn. We got South Park. Hold on, sorry, I'm going fast. Honorable mentions: Dustborn. Then we got 5 South Park Snow Day. 4 Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. Number 3 was Teenage Mutant Wrath of the fucking whatever. Number 2 was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And number 1 was Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash. So there you go. That is my worst games of 2024. I should have a best games of 2024 as well soon. I just need to finish a couple other games. And then, yeah, we'll do it. Probably like in the next week or so, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, there you go. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Good. Tell me what games you thought were the worst games of 2024. Sure. Yeah, you can do it. Go ahead. I'll allow you to. Tell me.